Hey, what's up, crew? I'm here in Canada, British Columbia, and as you can see behind me, there's smoke coming through the trees there. It's usually like clear sky, but you can't even see it because there's so much smoke coming from Washington fires right now. It smells like smoke in the air. It's crazy. This is normally like the cleanest air in the world here in British Columbia. Just breathe in that good, clean, fresh forest air in BC, but now there's some smoke. So it's kind of a shame, but it's just what happens sometimes. And I want to make this video and talk about how I'm renting a place right now and I'm paying a lot of money for the house. And I should be, according to a lot of people, I should be putting that money that I'm renting into a house to pay down the mortgage, right? They're like saying, why are you spending $3,000 a month on this rental unit when you could put that into a house? And my answer to that is because I value my freedom more than I value some money. And with me renting, I'm free to do whatever the F I want in terms of movement. Yeah, I can't customize the house or whatever because I don't own it, I'm just renting it, but I can pick up and move whenever. I'm renting month to month, but even if I was renting on a 12-month contract, I can still pick up and move whenever I want. I'm not tied down to the house, I don't own it, I don't have to deal with it. If something goes wrong, landlords take care of it. It's awesome. Plus it's a separate unit. It's like its own house. No one's around. It's great. Plus the main benefit of having this house where I live is this. Like, this is what I'm paying for. I'm paying for this. Part of my $3,000 gets me a massive forest that goes all the way to Whistler, like thousands of kilometers of pure forest. And a lake. There's a lake there. There's a lake there. I can swim in the lake, jump in it. It's amazing. It's like the best spot ever. So I'm not just renting that house. I'm renting like this area. So what I want to tell you is, like, if you're thinking, well, I should get enough money to buy a house, or at least put down a down payment and then to pay the mortgage off. Yeah, but then what? Then you're stuck with the house, and the dead money is just in the house. You're like, oh, but the house will go up in value. Yeah, but you could make way more than that per month, or sorry, per year, whatever, with your own business. So if you have your own business, like I do, it makes way more sense to rent and not have to deal with the headaches of a house. Zero headaches with the house. Because if anything goes wrong, the landlords take care of it. I don't have to deal with a fridge or laundry machine or freaking walls or ceiling or roof or flooding or any of that. If something goes wrong, it's not my house. I don't care. So that's really cool. But like I said, I can also rent a place that comes with this, And I'm living in like $1 million neighborhood. Like, all the houses around me are freaking mansions, man. If I was to try and buy one of those, they'd be like 5, 6, 7 mil. The down payment on that would be like, I don't know, like $300,000 or something. And then my money's tied up. My money's not tied up right now. I have no money tied up. All my money is going right into my business. And that gives me such an advantage over every other entrepreneur who's putting their money into other things that aren't going back into the business. Like, they're putting the money into their home or into their car or whatever, like, or into their looking good or being flashy or trips and travels for fun or whatever. I'm not doing any of that. 100% of my money is going right back to my business. So, obviously, paying for rent, I'm paying car payments or whatever, I'm paying for groceries, but other than that, it's just going right back to the business. So it gives me such an advantage on growing my business long term. I'm not tied down to anything physical. I don't own a product of the bank. When you own a house, you're owning like this product of a bank, or at least until you've paid it off. So there's just a lot of benefits to renting, and in this video I just want to share a few of them with you. But the main one is you can get like a really sick house that would normally cost you millions of dollars, but you don't have to pay anywhere close to that. You can just pay a little bit of rent every month, and you get access to full use of that house as if it's your own. And you don't have to deal with shit when stuff goes wrong, and you can pick up and move whenever you like. You have the freedom, and you don't have like this responsibility of owning this house and having all this money tied up. Like, you have no money tied up. I'd rather pay $3,000 a month bit by bit and just trickle my money to the house and have tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars not in the house. I'd rather have that money in my bank account or working for me in my business. Because it's fun. It's fun to spend money. It's super fun to spend money when it's being invested properly. It's actually fulfilling. It's not just spending it for the sake of spending it. It's like investing it back into the business and having that fulfillment that comes from making a better product and creating a better service for customers and for the world. So these are just a few of my thoughts right now as I'm out for this epic walk that I go on often. But you can see all the smoke from the Washington fires. It's crazy. The lake is just down there. It's like a 15-minute walk from my house. And before renting this house, I was renting another house like down the road, maybe 5-minute walk away. And after this house, maybe I'll stop renting this house in a year or something, and I'll move to somewhere else around here. Like I can pick up and move wherever I want because I'm renting. So if I was to buy a house with that money, it's just stupid because I'm trapped. My money's trapped. I could deal with the bank. I deal with all this paperwork. I got to deal with these legalities of owning a house. Holy crap, paying tax on that. Don't need any of that stuff as a renter. So the only like benefit of owning a house I could think is like, yeah, okay, you can customize it however you want, which is a distraction from business anyway, so I wouldn't want to do that. It goes up in value. It might go up in value. Sometimes it flatlines, sometimes it even goes down, but sure, let's say it goes up in value. Let's say it doubles in value. Let's say I buy a house for $1 million and over the next 10 years it goes up $1 million. I've doubled my money. Well, in 10 years I can make 10 mil. Like why am I sitting on a house just to make $1 mil? I can just go make 10 mil. Like, if you're trying to make money with a house, probably the best thing to do with it would be to buy it and then rent it out and get people in there and start collecting that rental income. But then you're dealing with renters. I don't want to deal with renters. I'm happily focused on my business, my health, and my fitness. I don't need to deal with renters. I'd rather just be the renter and have the landlords have to deal with me. I'm a good renter, so they don't need to deal with much. But what I'm saying is that you have such an advantage as a renter. But we've been raised in this society, we've been sold this dream of like, oh, everyone should own their own home. Why should you own your own home? You ever question that? Why should you own your own home? How about rent? Even owning my car, like looking back, I was like, I probably should have just leased the Tesla. Some people think I rent the Tesla just for it to flex, but no, I'm on payments for the Tesla. And I could pay off the Tesla in full, but that would be stupid because then my money would be tied up in the Tesla. So I think I owe like, I forget how much. Maybe there's like 60 grand left on the Tesla payment that I have to pay. I don't care. I could owe 120 grand still. It doesn't matter. It's only $1,000 a month for that Tesla. And yeah, I could pay it off, but then now I have like 60 grand just sitting in the Tesla, not really doing anything for me. And like, I'd rather have 60K in my bank account than in my Tesla. So I can actually put that 60K into my business and make more money with it and make more moves with it and have fun with it. And well, why would I want to pay off my Tesla? I want to pay that off as slowly as possible. I don't care about a little bit of interest. People are so afraid of interest. That's why they don't buy a credit card. They don't use a credit card. Credit cards are amazing. Credit cards are how I was able to get to Panama and get to Hawaii and get to Thailand when I was broke. I used a credit card because I didn't have any money to get to Bali. I got to Bali, started working on my business, started working on my ebooks, started working on my YouTube channel. Started offering personal training online and offering one-on-one coaching online. Got up to making $5,000 a month, all thanks to what the credit card allowed me to do, which is fly across the country and live somewhere else to just focus. Because I was able to get away from all these distractions in Canada, and I was able to just fly to Thailand, or fly to Bali, I should say, and then just focus. From Bali, I went to Thailand. But I was only able to do that because I had a credit card. And I'm not afraid of going into a little bit of debt and pay off some interest, just I'll make the money back and no problem. So many people are so afraid of debt. It's like, wow, you gotta learn to like use debt. You leverage that. Obviously, it doesn't feel good to be in debt, but you can use debt temporarily. I was in debt for like 4 or 5 years before my business took off. Happily in debt. Happily paid interest. I don't care about like little bits of money here and there. So many people are so stingy with like little bits of money here and there. It's like, bro, it's like an extra whoop-de-doo. It's an extra $50 a month. It's an extra $100 a month you got to pay on interest. Who cares? As long as you get to live your life. Life's not all about money, man. Like, I was talking to my friend the other day, and he's like rattled. His mind wasn't comprehending how I was renting. I was spending so much money on rent. He's like, dude, you could buy a house with that kind of money. I'm like, I don't value that. I value my time, my freedom, my space. And it's like, look what I can get for $3,000 a month. I get a whole forest to myself. No one's ever back here. It's amazing. So Yeah, when you're considering renting a place, by the way, though, consider moving to a place where you're right by a forest. That way, when you're renting the house, you're not just renting the house, you're also renting like the forest. Yeah, it's public property, but no one ever comes back here. That's the benefit of it, renting on a green belt. So if you're thinking, well, where should you move next, consider renting on a green belt. That way, anytime you need to go out, clear your mind, you can walk into nature, and you're instantly amongst Mother Nature and all of her bounty, all of her beauties. All right, well, that's it for now. That's a video. That's all I wanted to make. There's a lot of moths flying around this season, which is crazy because I thought it was a seasonal thing. I thought every season these moths comes out in this neighborhood. But I talked to my landlord yesterday, and he's like, dude, the moths are crazy, huh? And I was like, yeah, I've never seen so many. There's millions of them. And he's never seen them. He's been here for 10 years. So it must be like a thing where like every once a decade or something, all these moths come out. It's nothing to do with the fires either, because these moths were here like a week ago before the fires were coming. So anyways, that's that. I'll let you go. And if you think you need to go out and buy a house, you don't. You absolutely do not need to buy a house. Just be happy renting. Take that money you would put into a house, put it into your business, put it into yourself. Invest in yourself rather than a piece of land or something. Get smart, get wise, get rich, and then make up your mind. But don't buy a house when you're freaking broke, when you could just rent. Okay, peace, ciao. I mean, this is not financial advice, by the way. This is just what I would do. I'm making this video for myself. All right, ciao, bye.